guys. Welcome back to the Updownstate podcast.
What up?
I'm Nichole.
I'm Beth. Actually, I'm Jimmy Dugan.
I'm still Nichole. I'm just a Swiftie instead.
And that's Frankenstein, for those of you wondering. And it's almost flipping Halloween.
It is almost Halloween.
So because it's almost Halloween, I think today we're going to spend some time talking about just some Halloween filmography.
Filmography.
What is that word? That's a big
Cinematography.
word. Cinematography. Movies.
Film.
We're going to talk about some movies.
Talk about some Halloween movies.
I got my Halloween Starbies cup.
So we wanted to have like semi costumes on today, and I was like, you know what? The Yankees are going to the flipping World Series, so I can't not represent the Yankees here. But so I'm bringing on the Jimmy Dugan, but I still got to keep my Yankees attire up here because we're going to the freaking World Series for the first time in 15 years.
I got my
Go Yankees!
I got my Swiftie shirt that says "It's hi," or no, it says "It's me." Hi, I'm the cool mom. It's me. Just don't ask my 12-year-old.
And today I'm wearing.
And
I guess we're at the Met Gala. Who are you wearing tonight?
I'm wearing Amazon.
I'm wearing Amazon too.
I'm wearing Universal Monsters with little Universal Studio screamers.
That little chibi monsters.
Yep. With featuring Bride of Frankenstein, Wolfman, Casper, Michael Myers, the Pumpkin Lord, and I think that's about it.
Pumpkin Lord. Oh, you got werewolf too.
Oh yeah, Wolfman. The Pumpkin Lord. So this was from Halloween Horror Nights.
Is that Dracula? Who's the dude?
That is Caretaker. So Caretaker as well. So this is from Halloween Horror Nights 3 years ago, I think.
You've had it for a minute.
And the Pumpkin Lord. So every year they have a character that's like the character of that, like the face of Halloween Horror Nights. And so the Pumpkin Lord was the character that year.
Okay, so it wasn't a movie.
I don't believe so. No.
Okay.
No. Sometimes. No, I don't think any of the characters are like characters that are movies, but they have like their own.
Well, Michael Myers is like
okay.
Well, no. I'm saying like the face of Halloween Horror Nights.
So like they make their own characters for that. And then
yeah, but they like it's all an interconnected storyline.
Okay.
Like within Universal Studios.
Okay.
So like they all connect somehow. But yeah. And again, we're gonna be talking about some Halloween movies.
I'm gonna be talking about more Halloween movies because Nichole does not like horror movies, and I'll tell you guys that Jeb has been asking me to watch a horror movie for 3 weeks, and finally we watched Sleepy Hollow, which is not really, and you guys know, is not really a horror movie, but it quenched his thirst for me.
We watched actually one. Well, I guess it's more suspense, but I love, and I watched last year. I haven't watched it this year, but I saw a commercial on it yesterday that it was on HBO Max or something. Is The Shining with Jack Nicholson?
Love that movie.
Oh my gosh, that is like more just like suspense, kind of creepy. Not so much like oh my gosh horror, but like I love that movie.
I think I've seen parts of The
Red
Shining.
Rum. Red Rum.
I don't think I've seen the entire movie front to back. The last horror movie I watched was either the Amityville Horror, the newer one that came out,
with Ryan Reynolds,
or the Exorcism of Emily Rose. I was a teenager for both of those, and that was it.
My wife is a huge horror film fanatic.
Yeah.
She always this is like her time to shine throughout the year. She's got all the creepy movies.
I know
on
I love
TV
the
playing.
spooky season, but
She watches all the crazy like horror movies and stuff. But for me, so first I looked up some stuff and I thought it was really cool to see so the first film that they kind of say was horror credit into the horror genre was actually a film that was made in 1860 or something like that, or 1892. Sorry, 1892. Called it was had a foreign title, but it's called The Haunted. What did I say?
Castle.
Haunted Castle or something of the Dead. They called it one of
House
two
of the
things.
Devil.
House of the Devil. Yeah. So that was made in 1860 or 1892 or 96. Sorry, and it was only 3 minutes long, and it isn't really supposed to be a scary movie, but it was the first time they ever like portrayed like witch cauldrons and skeletons, like a ghost figure or whatever. So they say that that's kind of like one of the first, or is the first horror movie that was created.
Yeah. So there's a show at Universal Studios Orlando. It's called the Halloween Horror, or the Horror Makeup Show, not the Rocky Horror Makeup Show. But it's really cool.
Sign me up.
It's really cool because they patient. It's really cool because you walk into like this theater. It's a sit down one. It's a great thing to get out of the Florida heat because it's air conditioned. But it's this little tiny theater, and you walk in and you see, you know, different makeups from the 1930s, which basically like kicked off like the original Frankenstein's, Bride of Frankenstein, Dracula, the Mummy, right? And
we had turned on the 1939 Mummy.
And so you can see all this, and then to the newer stuff. So you can see kind of the props that they use for like Psycho from the Alfred Hitchcock film.
Yeah, like the chocolate syrup.
Syrup for blood. You can see, you know, the prosthetics.
Did you know that? Oh, they use chocolate syrup in that movie. Yeah, the shower scene or whatever. It's chocolate syrup.
Yep. You can see like the prosthetics from like Jaws.
That's cool.
And you know, some of even like the stuff from like Jurassic Park, even like, you know, some of the stuff that they used, and it's really fun. And I'll pull it up here in a second because during the show they bring volunteers up, and I got to be a volunteer one time.
Oh.
And so I had seen the show so many times, I already knew what they were going to say, which made it that much better because I was already in on the show.
Brian had already thought about the answers he would have in the conversation in the shower for the last 4 years. He was ready.
Yes. But anyways, so they go into detail when they get into the show and everything. It's based around makeup art. And so Lon Chaney, who kicked off like horror makeup, right? He did the makeup for the original Phantom of the Opera, Hunchback of Notre Dame, and you know, he had like all these secrets and everything. He, for one part, I forget what movie it was, but he actually bleached his eyes.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's not good.
So that he could not really see. And also for the Hunchback of Notre Dame, he physically wore like a 40-pound hump sack on his back to contort his body. You know, so he had like all these makeup secrets that he told no one about. So even his son, Lon Chaney Jr., had no idea like how his father did it. But like he revolutionized the horror makeup in what we see today. So that original Frankenstein, the 1939 Mummy, which gets all into, you know, obviously the advancements and stuff that we have now.
Yeah.
You know, and CGI and computer graphics.
Well, we were watching The Thing last night from, I think that was like 80 something, 82 to 80. I can't remember. But the I don't know, prosthetics and what's incredible.
I think the horror movies, I think the earlier horror movies are scarier than the new ones for the most part.
Okay, so what do you think? I've been hit. What do you think? Okay, so like what to you, what constitutes a horror movie as compared to a suspense movie? Because you said The Shining is more of a suspense movie, and I would say it's a horror movie.
Well, because I think like when you think about horror, I think about like a lot of like gore and like jump scare. And
You're talking about gore. There's a bloody hallway, a bloody river hallway.
Yeah, but it's not like slashing and, you know, like things like, you know, Chucky or you know, stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I feel like The Shining is more like
thriller,
like fucks your mind. Like I mean, it's just like a trippy mind kind of like suspenseful thing. Like you're like I think in The Shining, there's so much time. Like when I'm seeing it for like when I was way too young to see it originally. But like
I think I was like
watching it then, you're just so scared because every second you're like, what's gonna happen? Something's gonna happen, and then nothing happens because it's just all in your mind. Like so, it scares you like because you're like, what's going on? And I mean, it's just creepy in that way of like you're anticipating like crazy horror, scary. This dude's gonna snap, like, and you're waiting for it. So it just keeps you like just trapped in the movie the whole time. Like there's not a lot of times in The Shining where like I guess like I look away because I'm scared. It's more like I can't look away because like what's gonna happen.
That really attests to like how music is used in movies.
Oh yeah, well, yeah.
Like especially horror movies because you're like they'll build something up and you think something's coming and nothing happens and nothing's happened, but your heart is moving,
your heart's pounding.
Like
yeah, I think, but like for me,
I'm like, why is there boss music? Why is there boss music?
It's like maybe I like suspense more than I like gore in that sense because like I like The Shining as far as like a horror film, but I also like Poltergeist when we were younger. Like that movie creeped me out too.
Yeah,
like, and it was just more like weird shit. Like it was like more like just creepy, weird, funky stuff. And The Exorcist I thought was creepy as hell when I was little.
Yeah. I think I could watch more stuff now. Like supernatural stuff doesn't scare me as much. Like the spiritual world doesn't scare me as much.
I don't know. I'll tell you, like when I was a teenager and Paranormal Activity came out,
never seen it.
Oh, that shit scared the hell out of me. Only because like I believe in that stuff, like spirits and stuff. So like watching that, like I remember being so freaked out by that. And I went with my friends to see, I think was it Paranormal Activity 2 or was it one when they pulled her out of the bed?
That was one.
Number one.
Oh man. I was like, oh my God. Like I remember being like, oh shit. But
yeah, because I feel like I've had my own paranormal experiences. So I think that's probably why stuff like that scared me so much when I was younger. But like I've done more research and kind of
to know
that like not every like spirit's gonna be a bad spirit. And
no, but that's why I feel so much of like I tell this to Riley all the time because she thinks it'd be like she makes comments all the time about like wanting to go ghost hunting and like. You know, like she'll ask, like, we should get a Ouija board. And I'm like, no, the hell, you won't bring one of them anywhere near my house. Because, like, I just believe, like, if you believe in the good, you got to believe in the bad, right? So, like, I'm not messing with that. Like, I'm not trying to hunt anything good because I'm not going to invite in anything bad. So we're just going to let it be. Like, y'all go be your homies over there. Like, respect, but no thank you. Like, you know.
I would 1000% go ghost hunting. Well, I did do a ghost tour when I was in, where'd I go? And that begins with an in Florida, St. Augustine.
Oh yeah,
and saw a shadow figure. That the guy next to me was like, "Did you see that?" I was like, "Did you see that?"
Let Brian show his video. I'll tell you, like when I hung my coat up for ghost hunting when I was a teenager, and I have never, ever decided I will never go again. And I'll tell that story. But let Brian play his video.
Okay. So this is the sage basically.
Brian's acting debut.
It is.
Oh, you're so strong.
This is obviously my anniversary.
Okay, awesome. So how long have you been here? 6 years? Okay, well, listen, you're almost to that 7-year itch. So I'm just told you, I'm just another, like, wife, like, just in case. A backup wife, okay? She's gonna be hot stuff. She's in a lot of parts here. So you put your arms out like this. Okay, but then you're holding me. Okay, let's see what I have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hands. That's a lot of fun on a Friday night. Oh my gosh, look at this leg, Ryan. Oh, it's so good. Just lay all the fingers right here on the table. It's his anniversary for Pete's sake. I'm scared it half to death. I'm sorry. That'll never happen again. You're my assistant, okay? Okay. You're mad about it. You're so mad about it. Punch you in the face. The severed wings you see over there is pretty cool. Girlfriend, wait here. Wait, I need your arm for the show. It's Brian. You like this arm? I do too. That's why I'm going to cut it off and keep it. I'm going to take that knife. I'll try to like go around the tattoo. Try to do a little jaggedy, okay? All right, it's going to hurt like a lever. Okay. So I need you to scream your head off, okay?
Oh boy.
Ready for this? I did all these years at Juilliard.
3.
Oh, that's perfect.
So masculine.
That was a real laugh from her. She's like, oh, this dude.
All right, here we go. I'm so excited. 1, 2, 3. Wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, no, I'm sorry. There's so many kids here. You want me to cut it to you? No. Cut him. You know, I would love that, fun. Kids, listen to me. Don't drink beer for breakfast. Yeah. For 2 years now, I've been homeschooling. Mommy needs a break. Okay, we're done with that. More of a safety talk. So, okay. All the knives and blades you see up here in the movies, you've all been told, of course. Yeah, a lot were made out of rubber or plastic, like the Kardashians. By professionals. When they're not drinking, they're very good at what they do. So don't try this at home. Okay? You try it at a friend's house. Yes.
Try it at a friend's house.
Ice cream along. All right, Ryan, don't move. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3.
So yeah, so basically what had happened, right? I mean, it's a pretty blurry video because of just, data. The blade, like it has a little pump in it, and it pumps out blood, and then it has a little notch in it that when she pulls back, it like looks like it goes into the arm, right? So it gives that optical illusion. But it was a lot. That was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
That was so funny.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a whole funny skit.
So if you guys, that scream, if you want to hear that scream like live or in a video, I think it was the first episode that we did. I had a scream that mimics that one very much so. Years at Juilliard just for that moment. So it's a lot of fun. If you guys have ever been to Universal or go to Universal, it is definitely a show to go watch. I mean, it's super kid friendly ish. But they make it fun. The host they make it fun. Obviously, they make it very funny and warming.
I would love to do something like that.
No, it's amazing. So yeah, but I know you guys kind of bantered off onto paranormal adventures. You said that you would say what did it for you after with your ghost hunting phase.
So for me, I went through that ghost hunting phase, like some of my friends in New York, and we, went to different places, like like Janesville Quarry that they said was haunted, or like
what was that road we used to go up?
13 curves.
13 curves, but the road that I'm gonna tell you about is Golf Road.
Golf Road.
So I went, they said at Golf Road, when you go up there, you could see things off in the trees, right? So up there is like an old KKK meeting ground and stuff like that, kind of similar like Whiskey Hollow, like it's kind of haunted up in there. It has bad history there, right? Well, Golf Road, right? So we go up there and they'd say, like, you could see stuff out in the woods. Like, you see, like, white cloaks. You could see, like, people say they saw fire out that way. Or they'd see if you put baby powder on your car. People said that they see handprints on their car when they came off that road. All kinds of stories. So we had driven it a couple times and, like, never saw anything, like, too crazy. Like, there were some times, of course, we thought we saw something, but it was really kind of suspenseful, right? So we went up there one night, and I was going to I took our camcorder because we were going to record our trip down Golf Road, right? And so we go up there, and I'm with a few of my friends, and we're driving up the road, and I'm recording it. And as we get up to the top, we didn't really see anything. So we turn around and drive back down Golf Road, and then we're almost to the end. We're probably maybe halfway down it, maybe a little past halfway, and we're like, oh shit, that looks like a head, like a cloaked head in the tree. So, and I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna get this on camera. Like that was not there on the way up, and it was like this white, like KKK, like cloaked head hanging in the tree, right? And we're like, oh my god, like, oh, I got it on camera or whatever, because like then it was like gone, right? So what the hell is that? It's so crazy. And so we're like, we get down there or whatever, and we go back to my friend's house. And like that, it was so weird. We came down, we saw it, like we thought we saw some other stuff like back in the brush, like shadow figures, and like it was just creepy on the way down, right? Like really unsettling. And so I remember like specifically being like, I got that on camera, like the head in the tree, and being so excited about it. Well, then we went back to my friend's house, and we're sitting there, and I'm trying to hook the camera up to the TV so we could pull it up on the TV and watch it, right? So I've got the, you know, it's like the red, the white, and the yellow cord. You know, you got to plug it in. So I plug it up, I get it all going, and I go to turn on, and there's nothing there. Nothing. But it gets better. So, and there was like softball footage on before and like after it. I was recording over something or whatever. So, like all the stuff that was on the tape would play except for the section that we were on Golf Road. It just was gone. So, you know, finally we give up, right? We're like, shit, we missed it. It's gone. And the camera's still hooked up to the TV, right? And so at this point, we're just hanging out, talking a bunch of crap.
Did you get our camera possessed?
Then, listen to the story, okay? So then we're just sitting in the living room. We're all just shooting shit or whatever. I think we were drinking and stuff at that point. So all of a sudden, Hour of the Dead, right? 3 o'clock in the freaking morning. Here comes 3 o'clock in the morning. And we were just joking about 3 o'clock in the morning being like the Hour of the Dead or whatever. And don't you know that fucking camera turns on the TV right to the spot that freaking head is in the tree. Okay, nobody touched the camera. We were on the other side of the room. The freaking camera cuts on. Boom. There's the freaking head in the tree. We all scream. Right? We run out the front door of the house. We're like, holy shit, you know, like freaking out. And we come back in. That tape never played again. Never could get back to it. Never could rewind. It was gone. Gone. And I was like, I'm retired. I never ghost hunted again in my freaking life. And I don't know. You can't tell me that was not some freaking paranormal shit happening. Because it cut on. All that footage on Golf, all the way up was on camera. All the way down, part of the drive home, all on camera. Because the whole time we're talking about this head, like half the way to the house. So like all this footage. And it just happens to cut on to that freaking tree with the head in the tree. And then it's just gone forever. I'm done.
You got the camera possessed.
Yeah, I don't know where that camera is, but I'm nope. Done.
Pretty sure I broke it.
Okay. Well,
did anybody else get like the feeling that the house that we grew up in was haunted?
No.
No. So I used to I was in the attic, right? So the attic was remodeled into a bedroom. And I never felt alone in that room. And I have never had that experience anywhere else that I have lived. Okay. And then I would feel things pulling on my blankets and I would be like, oh, it's the cat. And I would like shine a light or something or turn my light on and the cat would not be in my room.
Yeah, I never had that issue even when I was up in that room.
And then when I moved to your room, and I was much older for this, I was in college when this happened. I woke up to a figure. So you know where your door was? Basically that corner where the door was. And it looked like this extremely tall man that like hit the ceiling almost in like ragged robes or something. I put the cover over my head, came down, it was gone. The door was closed. So it's not like he could have left the room.
Never at the house.
And then when I lived in Lebanon at those townhouses that were on the Trail of Tears, I felt somebody slap my chest when I was sleeping. Like woke up with a red chest. But when we would like go Golf Road and stuff, I never saw anything.
The only other like paranormal weird thing that has happened to me was when Grandma died. So I remember we went up to New York and we stayed at Nani's townhouse. And I slept on the couch in the basement downstairs because it had like that rec room and stuff down there. So I was sleeping on the couch. And obviously we knew Grandma was going to pass. They'd taken her off life support, but she lived for several hours off that life support. So we went back to Nani's house. It was the middle of the night. And I had this very vivid dream of Grandma. She was standing at the end of the couch that I was sleeping on, and she came and she told me that she had died and that it was okay. And so she came and she told me that she had died and it was okay and whatever. And then literally, like, she's telling me this, and Mom wakes me up to tell me Grandma died.
Like, I almost feel like I don't remember like something like that, but I also knew.
Yeah.
Like
when she woke me up, I was like, Grandma's dead, huh? And like Mom's like, Grandma died. And I knew because she just came and told me, hey, I died, you know, and like, it's okay. I don't even think I said anything to her. Like, I'm like, holy shit, this is Grandma. Like, you know, and then Mom woke me up to tell me that Grandma died. And I was like, oh my gosh. And like, it was so vivid, like her standing there and telling me like, hey, you know, I'm gone. But
100% believe that loved ones can contact you through dreams.
I think it have to, right? Like, cause like, how often do you dream of just random people with no faces or people that you don't remember, right? And you're from your subconscious. But I feel like when it's something specific like that, there's coercion in that. Like that, that's I feel like a message coming across to you.
So I know you guys had talked about. I think you guys talked about like the first like horror movies.
Yeah.
That you had ever seen.
Oh no, like I don't know that I remember the first horror movie I ever saw.
I know I watched Hellbound with Chuck Norris. I don't know. It was probably not a horror movie. I'm sure it was an action movie. But that was one of the first, I remember, I think, rated R movies I ever saw.
The only young scary movies. The one vivid thing I remember was when Nightmare on Elm Street came out. Because I hate Freddy Krueger. Nightmare on Elm Street came out when we lived on Elm Street in Syracuse, and so like our dad used to kind of like make fun or joke about Freddy Krueger and how we lived on Elm Street and stuff, and it like scared the crap out of me. And to this day, like I get like so uneasy.
You can't sing the song to her.
I can't.
She
like
gets so
I
mad
get
at you.
so uneasy. Like Sam was playing Halloween music when we were setting up the Halloween decorations, and some like crazy version of it came on the channel, and I was like, I have to turn it off. Like I just had to turn it off. It just makes me feel uncomfortable. Like because he fucks with you in your dreams. Your sleep you're supposed to be safe when you go to sleep, and dude just tears you up in your dreams. It messes with my head. I don't like it. But that's Nightmare on Elm Street is the first scary movie that I vividly remember knowing about, watching, it causing an impact. And I mean, I was young. I mean, talking about Elm Street in Syracuse, we were young.
Yeah. Well, I feel like Poltergeist was probably one of the first I remember watching.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, but I don't know. Like, I definitely remember watching Poltergeist, but I remember more watching that, probably a little bit older as it was on TV, during spooky season or whatever. But what about you? What about first scary movie?
I think I've seen at least. I saw a Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, I watched that too. I mean, I'll watch them. They just creep me out because my wife loves.
I think that's
movies.
the only Freddy Krueger and Jason movie that I've ever seen.
What about you?
And I love Friday the 13th.
I can't tell you the first one that I saw. I mean, I have all those movies. Like I have the whole Friday the 13th collection, Nightmare on Elm Street collection.
Yeah, wait, Friday the 13th is that Jason?
Yeah, it's Jason.
And then Nightmare on Elm Street is Freddy, and then Halloween is
Michael Myers.
Yeah.
And I think one of the ones that kind of
I really feel like I've seen a Michael Myers movie though. Is that the camp
I've seen a bunch. Yeah. Well, no, Camp is Jason.
No, I haven't. Okay.
Halloween, like those are decent movies. They don't scare me or anything. Like Sam loves the Halloween movies.
I mean, they're slasher films.
Yeah.
Is what they are. And so the one that probably like freaked me out the most was Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I did see Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
And the only reason it freaked me out
Like
because
the newer
it's
one or the
based on a
old
true story.
You talking about the old one
The
with
old
like
one.
Matthew McConaughey in it?
Yeah, because here's the thing: is like you can choose not to or not to believe in the spiritual world. You can choose to not believe in angels and demons and heaven and hell and all of that. But like fucking people are crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like with that when like
That,
because I saw
Silence of
that.
the Lambs.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
Or
thinking.
like
Silence of
the Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
God.
Hills Have
Or
Eyes type
friggin'
shit.
Jeepers Creepers.
Like
things
stuff
that could actually happen.
like stuff like that. I'm like, I remember the first time I sat down and watched Chainsaw Massacre, and I'm like, oh, this is just gonna be a gory film, whatever. And in the beginning credits, based on a true story, and I'm like, welp.
That's why I was so freaked out about Paranormal Activity. Because it was like based off a true story, blah, blah, and I'm like, well, I think
Blair
it's not.
Witch.
That's creepy too.
Yeah, I've
watching
seen the Blair Witch Project. I saw that very young too.
Yeah.
I was young
Have
when
you
I
seen
saw
that?
that.
The Blair Witch
Blair
Project.
Witch Project, where it's like
Yeah.
all on like handheld camera. Oh.
That was what, like 97
yeah,
or 98.
maybe earlier.
I feel like the best horror films are the ones that are made like through the eyes of like a camcorder or like give you like that POV.
Yeah.
Like those are the ones that build like the most suspense
Yeah.
and thrill.
Well, that's why I said I think the older stuff is better than the newer stuff, because the newer stuff, like when you have all the CGI and you have all that stuff, like like it's so computerized that you can distance yourself from it more.
Mm-hmm.
Like those older movies or the handheld camera movies or like whatever, like they are just creepy because they're like, oh crap, like this is like it just feels more real, and I think it pulls you in more.
Well, even stuff like, you talk about Halloween,
Mm-hmm.
like Michael Myers being an actual person,
Yeah.
or like talking about Scream, Ghostface just being a person. Like
Yeah.
those I think are scarier than like any creature or anything like that.
Well,
Because,
I don't know. I think like I'll tell you what, The Exorcist, that's creep. Like the possession of people.
yeah.
freaks me the hell out. Like,
well, that really, it doesn't mess with me so much anymore, but that really messed with me when I was younger.
or like when I was younger, The Ring. Remember the girl from The Ring?
Yeah.
Mhm.
She was creepy as hell. I don't know if that movie like scared me. I just thought
I did see that
her
movie too. I did not
character was creepy. But
like it. Those were some of the last ones I watched.
yeah, I watched. I saw. What was the last horror movie I saw? Oh gosh, yeah. I think the last horror movie I actually went to go see, it was with what was it? Is it called? What is it? Shia LaBeouf is in it. Disturbia. Is that what it was? And that one was, I was kind of like, meh. But that was the last one I went to go see because I think I went to go see it with like a girlfriend or something at the time. And like, it's not my favorite genre. Yeah.
To like give myself anxiety by watching.
We went to Gatlinburg one year and she begged me to go in this freaking Ripley's haunted house.
No, I did it once. I'll never do it
and
again.
I don't like
Jeff
a
did the
haunted
same
house
thing.
because like I am liable to punch you in the face if you jump
And
out and scare me.
You're probably the person in front that she's
Yes.
like hiding behind.
Here's the thing. Here's what pissed me off so
See,
bad.
I have a man.
And I told her never again because I hate haunted houses because I already want to punch the people that are jumping out at me. So she's like, "Oh, please, let's go, please, please, please." And I'm so, young love. I'm like, "Oh," I'm like, "All right, let's go." So we go, and it's not even that bad. It's just Ripley's, believe it or not, haunted house in Gatlinburg, right? So we go and we're walking through. Woman of mine who just loves scary stuff, right? And is like the champ of Halloween, is in my back so deep, like pushing me through this haunted house because she's scared to death.
Yep.
And she's screaming, and in my mind, I'm like, gotta keep it cool, gotta be cool, like whatever. So I'm like trying to get through it, right? And they got, there's people jumping out, cutting people up, and there's this bridge and shit's spinning, like I can't even like see straight. And she's just, I don't even think she opened her eyes to the whole damn thing. And like, so like we get out of there. She's like, "That's awesome." I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Awesome." And I was like, "I will never go in another haunted house with you ever."
It's really, so I did the same thing, and I was just in his back the whole time going, "They can't touch me, they can't touch me, they can't touch me."
Get out of here.
Adelaide said Adelaide went to Bloody Acres, which is right down the road. She said she did the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's scary. And so you guys, obviously, my kids aren't on my social media, but my daughter Adelaide is like, you wouldn't think she's scared of anything, right? She is just so nonchalant. She's a preteen. Like, she doesn't care about anything, right? And she's like, that scared the shit out of me. And nothing.
No, I am not a fan. Not a fan. And Sam, man, she just wanted to go so bad. And I was like, never again.
Story time. Building on that. So I am not a fan of haunted houses. I'm not a fan of them. So a few years ago.
Unite.
Yeah.
So like a few years ago, Tara loves to go.
I tell Sam all the time, call Tara. She'll go with you.
Tara, here's the thing. Tara goes first.
Brian, 6'3", Brian hiding behind his 5'6" wife.
That's okay. That's right.
Tara goes first because Tara and her mom, they go.
Cindy ain't scared of nothing. I'll die on that hill.
They will stone face like. Oh, that's
Cindy
cool.
will be like, "You got a cigarette?"
Yeah.
But
Can I try that change?
But so a few years ago, we went to Halloween Horror Nights. I think it was like 2021. It was the year I got this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I'll do it. I'll go through a house. Fine. I'll try it out. Whatever. And I did. I went through one house. Now, what kind of ruined it is they were coming off of COVID.
No.
And so where the jump scares were, they had glass panes. They had plexiglass.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so you know where the scares were. I'm like, okay. And so I went through it. Right, and Tara was like, "How was that?" I was like, "Nah." Like, yes, it was scary, but like I knew where everything was because I could see. I'm like, so, And so I went back to the hotel. Her and her mom went through, and they did, the houses and everything. And I went back to the hotel, and I was just watching scary movies.
Yeah.
So like, so fast forward. We go the next year. We bring the kids. I stay back at the hotel, watch the kids. They go out, they do it, and there was some good ones, like because they do a lot of like big name houses.
Yeah.
They'll do it off of like TV shows and stuff like that. So I think like the year that year they went, like Beetlejuice was one of them, and stuff, or like The Haunting of Hill House, which is a good Netflix show if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I saw that. That's good.
Nope.
But anyways. So they went, and so like then there was rumors for the following year and Stranger Things 4 was one of them, and I'm like, oh, if they bring Stranger Things, I'll go. I think I was like, okay, babe, and then This Is not This Is Us, The Last of Us.
Yeah.
I was like,
The
babe.
Last of Us would be cool.
I was like, babe, if they bring those two, I will go, and I will.
mean, if Pedro Pascal's gonna jump out at me,
I was like, I will go. I will do the houses with you. And so they officially announced it. They did it. Blah blah blah. We did. So they have a VIP tour, which they call the RIP tour during Halloween Horror Nights, where basically you go in a group, they bring you right to the front of the line and get you in the house. Now, I think my anxiety kicked in is when I was standing in line that first time and I had to wait. And I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. RIP tour, get in there, rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
You're in. Sorry.
Get out. Yep.
Sorry. But we're going through all these houses, and I think one of the first ones that we did, they had the new Exorcist house, the new Exorcist movie, and so we're going through that. We did the Stranger Things house, first. I'm like, man, these are awesome. Like, this is so cool.
Nope.
And I'm going through, and I'm like, man, this is great. Like, yeah, there was some jump scares. Now, being the third person, because still Tara and her mom were fine. I was the third person, right? Because I'm still like,
They're all jumping out of them.
and I got a couple jump scares where I was like, oh shit, like, but like, I'm like, man, this is cool. So the other thing that so by the second house, I had a headache because it was just loud.
Yeah.
It was just so loud. So I went, they give you earbuds, you can get earplugs. And once I had those, put those in, and it kind of it didn't completely take away the noise in the experience, but it brought it down a little bit. That was fucking awesome. I'm like,
well, I'll tell Sam to call you and Tara.
I was like, I'll do this again. I'm not waiting in line though.
Yeah, but are those haunted houses people are following you and
Sometimes they do.
Okay.
Some of them they do.
So
I don't like it.
There's this Riley keeps saying, I want to go to a haunted house, and I'm like, she's not ready for a haunted house.
Julie too. Julie's like, I want to go to Bloody Acres.
So
I'm like, no.
They had this drive-through haunted thing last year, off of one of the exits off 840, and I was like, well, you know what? Let's take Riley out. There's $10 to drive through this person's yard that does all this Halloween stuff, right? And I was like, well, we'll take her out there and see if she can keep her shit together.
Yeah.
So we drive out there, and she's so excited. We're going out there, and we pull into the house. We got there right when they open. So just driving through this person's yard all by ourselves. So, and it was dark. They had all these cool animatronics, but then they had all these characters, that were coming up to the window of the car. You stayed in your car. So we're going through, and there's this one creepy ass girl that's following the car, because Riley, you could just tell her laugh is getting more nervous and nervous as we go.
You can literally hear it in my head.
So yeah. So we're getting through, right? Shit's jumping out or whatever. Well, they're coming around, going to the end, and there's this guy who's dressed in, I don't know if it was a Scream costume or it was all black and a mask or something, and he's carrying this machete, right? Well, he just hauls ass and sprints towards the car, right? And so he just runs full force to the car, and Riley just lets out this blood-curdling scream, right? And I'm driving, and so they're getting so close to the car, I can't take my eyes off the road. I don't want to hit them, right? They're coming that close. So we told the lady it was her first haunted house. So, we came to haunted stuff.
Shit out of her.
Yeah, so she's like, oh, okay. I was like, so don't take it easy on us, So, I'm like, I can't see. I saw him coming, so I knew what was happening, but I couldn't look away because I knew it. He was on the car, touching the car. So I'm like, I got to make sure I don't run his toe over, right? Yeah. Well, all of a sudden I hear what I thought was someone climbing on the roof of the car was fucking Riley in the back seat, the ceiling of the car. And so finally we get to the end, right? He stops chasing us. Riley just starts laughing, and Sam and I are laughing so hard we're crying at this point because she was so scared. And Riley was so we get to the road, right? We leave the road, and Riley's like, that wasn't bad. And I just started laughing because she was so petrified. I said, Riley, I heard you climbing the ceiling of the car. She's like, oh no, I was just pretending. I'm like, get out of here.
I'm gonna tell you, I've never pretended to climb.
She was so scared. It was so fun. And she tried to play it so cool after. And I'm like, I'm surprised there's not piss in my back seat. She was terrified.
It's It's like that one part in the animated Hercules movie when he's like, ah! He's like, whoa, almost lost my cool there. That's Riley. Like, whew. Yeah, I almost lost it there for a second.
You could just tell, like, the and then she just, like, because he just full force at the, and it was great. Like, they were great because, like, the girl that was following the car, I'm like, this bitch is creepy. Like, even I was like, oh, it's creepy. Like, but then he came just, like, full slasher mode, running to the car, and she about died. She's, like, trying to roll the window up. Like, just so funny.
So in one of the houses I went to a couple of years ago, they did Universal Monsters. So
those guys.
So these guys. So they had like it was like the 3 or 4 main. So it was like Frankenstein, Phantom of the Opera, Hunchback of Notre Dame, and I think Dracula.
Never seen Phantom of the Opera either.
And Phantom of the Opera is really good. So there's this one part we're walking through, and of course it's Universal. So like the houses look amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like
super
really cool.
detailed. And everything, right? I mean, the actors, the way that they do the makeup and everything, like, it's incredible. So there's this one part where the Hunchback of Notre Dame, he's like tied up like in like the bell tower.
Yeah.
And he jumps down, but you know, he's got a cord, like a bungee cord on his back, so he only comes down so far.
Yeah.
And I'm looking, I'm like, man, that's cool. And he goes, whoop, and I'm like, oh shit. I was not expecting that. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna fall on me. I had to hit like one of those Neo.
Yeah. Oh, the Matrix moves.
But that was like so cool. I was like, oh man, it was awesome. So
we watched the trailer to Casper the other day because we were looking for like movies that the kids could watch too.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot that the Ghostbusters were in it, or at least what's his name?
Oh yeah, Bill Murray.
No, Bill Murray. It wasn't Bill Murray. It was the other one. Dan Aykroyd.
Okay, yeah.
And
yeah.
When he comes out, he goes, "Who you gonna call?" Somebody else, and like takes off. I totally forgot about that.
Last year or a few months ago, Walmart had the 30 movie collection of like all the old Universal the monster movies.
Cool. Oh, that's fun.
So it has like the Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Invisible Man, like all these original movies. And I've yet to sit down and watch one. And I really want to. We're trying to get Josie to watch them because
Josie doesn't like scary.
But they're silent films.
Yeah.
You know, so there's not a whole lot. Like when I was speaking earlier about like the horror makeup show.
Has she ever seen Hotel Transylvania?
Yes.
That's not scary.
No, it's not scary, but it
introduces those characters.
Yeah, it was monsters.
And so when I'm talking about like the horror makeup show earlier, like the 1939 Mummy, like it took them like hours to do the makeup for the Mummy for 10 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
You know, so it's all just like built suspense.
Yep.
You know, so and that's what I'm trying to like explain to her. I'm like, you know, they're not really scary. You know, like jump scare, like scare your pants off.
Yeah.
I was like, but they're just suspenseful. Like
put them on while she's playing up there or something.
That's why I thought. That's why I told Tara. I was like, we just need to put one in and just rip it off like a Band-Aid.
Yeah, put it in, let it play on the screen while she's playing.
The girls have been like determined to like watch a horror movie.
So let's think about this. So what is the staple Halloween movies in your household? Your kids are young, they're younger than mine, so they're probably not the same. But what Halloween movies are go-tos in your house for the kids right now?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas and Hocus Pocus for us.
Yeah, so ours is definitely Nightmare Before Christmas, Hocus Pocus. But Riley went through a phase where Coraline was like
we
one of her
love
favorite
Coraline.
movies to watch, which I think that is a creepy movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Coraline and Kubo, which I think might be the same, which are both pretty creepy movies.
Yeah.
Same studio. They love those movies.
Yeah. Riley loved
If
Coraline.
she's not seen Kubo, that's a really, really good one.
She went through a phase with Coraline and Corpse Bride,
Mm-hmm.
but Coraline is definitely one out of the two. And then also my wife loves Nightmare Before Christmas. We love Hocus Pocus. But my wife also likes, which I'm not a fan of. Y'all don't come at me. But Halloween Town, not a fan.
Never seen it.
Sam loves them.
Never seen them.
I like
There's
them.
like 2 or 3 of them. I don't know. But
yeah, I like them. I enjoy them. I used to watch them all the time on Disney Channel.
Josie Coraline. She's not seen Coraline,
No.
right? That one's a little creepy. Yeah. But yeah, we love Coraline.
We were getting ready like last week to sit down and like watch a Halloween movie.
mm-hmm.
And they wanted to watch Nightmare Before Christmas, and me personally, I'm not a fan of it.
I'm not a big fan of it either.
I just it's a little slow rolling for me.
Yeah, I am
it's
about
not,
like
definitely not my favorite. I mean, I like it enough to watch it.
And I think it's because there was a span of time where like that is all Josie wanted to watch.
yeah. That plays a part.
Jack.
Yeah,
She
that
wants
definitely.
Jack. I want to watch
that'll
Jack. I
that'll-
want to watch Jack.
That'll ruin a movie for you. Kids will ruin movies.
I
for
am
you.
definitely more of like if I'm picking
Bless
a
you.
Halloween movie, I'm even getting over Hocus Pocus, like because like the revamp of it, like they want to watch it so much. Like Halloween movies for me is like I'm a good one and done for the season. Like I watch Hocus Pocus once. Like I mean I could watch Night Before Christmas once, but like I love Casper. I love like what else is something that I could like? There's a Halloween like Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
Like, I'd watch that like the ghost one with Scooby Doo. I don't know. I don't know. I like that stuff a little bit more than
Scooby Doo's like
the
Halloween all year
Town
round.
stuff. But
I want to try. Maybe I'll try and get them to watch like Haunted Mansion.
I like that too. I do like the Haunted Mansion movies.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
They're pretty good. Like with Eddie Murphy, they're pretty good. And Riley's getting to where she wants to watch like actual scary movies, like creepy horror movies and stuff. But she gets so scared. So,
Yeah,
like, then she doesn't want to go to bed, or she's in my face at 2:00 in the morning, like I'm scared.
and that's where like I have to like the kids really want to watch a horror movie too. So I'm going through and I'm like looking at ratings and seeing what's in it. And like when I tell them, okay, we can watch this one, we're like, I don't want to watch that one. And I'm like, well, I'm not letting you watch. What was it they wanted? Oh, The Conjuring. I'm like, no, you're not watching The Conjuring.
I just let them watch it one time. They won't sleep for a couple days.
I don't
at
need
some
them.
point-
36 years old, 35 years old, scared of the Freddy Krueger song, Beth.
I'm okay. I survived. I mean, I'll let Riley watch it during the day. What I won't do, she's like, can we turn the lights off? I'm like, nope. Like I'm not setting that up. Like, you can watch it at 12:00 in the afternoon
Yep.
with all
When
the
the
light
sun is
in the
high.
house. Like,
Yeah.
then you can watch it, and you've got hours before you go to bed. Like, that's when
Yeah.
Riley gets to watch those movies. Not at 7:00 at night with the lights off and a bowl of popcorn. That ain't happening. But because then I'm not sleeping for a month. But if I give it to her like in the middle of the day, maybe she'll wake me up that night. Maybe she won't, depending on how freaky it is. But like we'll let her as long as it's not like crazy. Like if there's not like a bunch of like inappropriate stuff in there.
Mhm.
If it was just like gore or whatever, I'm probably gonna let her watch it. But she's almost 12.
I agree. It just kind of depends on, but also like scare factors, I think, kind of play a part in it. Like I watched Sleepy Hollow and I was gonna let them watch that, and it is rated R for gore. They didn't want to.
Yeah, it depends on what it is. Like if it's like gore
I enjoy
and
it.
suspense and stuff, like I'll probably let her watch it. If it's like sex and nudity and like crazy, like then I'm not gonna let her watch it. But because I feel like Sam will let her watch Chucky, and I feel like Chucky's a little much sometimes with like the
The language.
sexual and the
Well-
language, the sexual innuendos and stuff. But she's seen some Chucky stuff too, which I'm not a fan of. But.
That was one I was gonna let the kids watch.
So the earlier ones aren't as bad. Like if they're gonna watch Chucky, and like the first one would be okay.
Ooh, what about Gremlins?
What about Leprechaun?
Remember Leprechaun?
Yeah.
I said
So-
Leprechaun. I said, well, what about Leprechaun? They didn't want to watch it.
Yeah, there's like 100 of those movies, and they're
Mhm.
creepy. That little thing is creepy. See, those things like eventually like they get on my nerves. Like I think that's why like I really don't give any cares to like Michael Myers and the Halloween movies, because like at some point you're dead. Okay, like how many times can we kill you and you're not dead? Like because I feel like that way with like Halloween and like Leprechaun 2, like the movies end with you think that person is dead so many times. Like you can only do that so many times, and I'm over it. Like, and that's how I feel about like Halloween. Like I feel like every Michael Myers movie ends with him engulfed in flames, or him being drowned, or him being shot in the head, or him being like what, and then he's back, miraculously back again.
I kind of agree with you, but I kind of don't in certain aspects. Like Michael Myers is supposed to just be a man, right?
Right.
But
So
like,
he should be dead.
But like Chucky is a supernatural
Doll.
thing.
Yeah,
as
that's
a
different.
doll.
But that's what I'm saying.
Or even like Leprechaun is like a supernatural being.
But they don't portray him that way.
Yeah.
Like they portray him as like blood's running through his veins, like he's an alive person. So like
Okay.
an alive leprechaun.
I don't know, never seen it.
So then you should be dead. Like I agree with Chuck. You could bring Chucky back as many times as you want. He's a freaking doll that's like possessed, right? So yeah, it makes sense that Chucky can come back 700 million times.
Yeah.
But like not Michael
I
Myers.
also think the
That
Bride of
fool
Chucky
dead.
is stupid.
Yes. But that like
I think
that
the girl Chucky doll is stupid.
That's what I think. Like, and that's one thing that I noticed, like about horror, and it's not all like this, but we have done the same movies so many times, and I feel like I would love like someone to put out a new like good scary movie.
Well, have you seen A Quiet Place? You should watch it. I've never seen it, but it definitely seems like
Bro.
You've
It
never
seems-
seen it.
Bro.
It seems like a different
So
type of
yes. So
like a
do you
different
remember-
kind of concept.
Okay.
here we go.
I
Here
know
we-
about it.
So here we go. Do you remember? I haven't seen Quiet Place either, but I'm going to give you a comparison to what it is. Did you see Bird Box?
It's like Bird Box.
Same concept,
Okay.
right? They go
I think,
through,
but done better.
but you can't. Instead of you can't look at the thing, you can't make a sound.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
And there's some good acting from what I've
So-
heard.
so John
Really good
Krasinski-
at acting.
directed it.
Yep.
There's 2 of them, and Emily Blunt's in it.
All 3 of us should watch it and then report out on it.
I've heard nothing but good
I've
things.
heard excellent things.
And then they just came out with a
Deb
because
would love if I watched A Quiet Place.
But they just came out with a new one that was like A Quiet Place Day 1 because these are supposed to be like creatures that like came from space.
Okay.
And so it shows like the very first day that they arrived
Yeah.
when everybody was like, oh shit, we have to be quiet or else we're going to die. And even that guy,
figuring that out.
yeah, and even that got like super good reviews.
Yeah, check it out. But
So,
yeah, because like I just feel like we do the same stuff over and over again quite a lot.
yeah.
You know, like how many times have we done Dracula? How many times have we done Frankenstein? And I'm not saying they're not good.
Mhm.
Like they are good, but the story is just like it's the same kind of thing.
There's a movie called Renfield that is Nicolas
Oh, yeah.
Cage as Dracula. And I did buy that movie
Did you?
because it's Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage is my favorite actor. You guys, I think you've seen The Pillow if you've seen the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't call it a horror movie. It's like gore comedy. Is that a thing? Horror
Mhm.
comedy, whatever. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. I will tell you like one of my favorite. It's not really like a scary movie, but it's like an action-packed like thriller. Was Van Helsing,
Oh, I like
I
Van
did
With
watch
Hugh
Van
Jackman?
Helsing, and I
I
did.
love
but
I
it
like Van
introduced
Helsing.
like those like Frankenstein,
Yeah,
Dracula,
Dracula was in there, and
a
then you had
werewolf.
werewolves, and you
V
had-
for Vendetta, I think, is just a action movie.
Yeah.
I don't know, suspense thriller.
maybe.
I really like those two. I did see
Do
that.
you know what else? I was looking at Halloween movies. I looked them up, and it lists James and the Giant Peach as a Halloween movie.
Mhm.
I
I
love
love-
James and the Giant
Me too.
Peach.
Riley will not watch that.
My kids won't either.
It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for Facebook flashback. Back in the day.
Are we gonna cringe or will we come out okay?
Mm,
Mine aren't bad.
I'm not sure. I feel like we do these on bad days.
I did
14
say
years
some.
ago, dear whoever decided the morning shift at McDonald's should be 6 a.m. We are not friends. Thank you for your time.
You
Sincerely,
probably didn't
Beth.
go to bed that night.
I probably didn't because this is 13 years ago. I was, I guess I put it was nice to chill with my Thackeray and Bella. Now bed working the AM, so you know that trend holds.
I got it 6 years ago, and little Josie, checking out Adelaide in her
Aw.
Halloweeny costume. Look
Love
at it.
it.
no.
Aw.
No.
And I got this thing, this how to read your losing Powerball ticket. 13, number of car payments you still have to make. 28, number of years you'll have to continue working at your awful job. 38,
Oh
number
my
of
gosh.
major life mistakes you've made that led to a near impossible lotto win being your only hope for debt-free existence. 51, how many dollars you presently have in your checking account. 53, how many times you stood in front of the bathroom mirror rehearsing telling your coworkers to kiss your ass. 18, number of times you'll recheck this ticket before accepting you never had a chance.
Oh, that's funny.
Let's see, what was this? 13 years ago?
It's
13 years.
freezing in my house.
13 years ago, new style Darth Vader.
Oh.
That was in Uncle Johnny's garage in Auburn.
15 years ago, I should be working on my English. That still hasn't changed.
8 years ago, they announced the Logan trailer.
Ooh, 8 years ago?
8 years ago.
8 years ago?
Wow.
And I tagged
Jeez.
Tara, Libby, and Chris. I said I'm going into theaters this year. Like, take my money, take my car, take my soul, take my kids' savings for college.
3 years ago, Cassandra tagged me in this thing. Her TV lights up with Lord of the Rings. That's freaking awesome. It's been like a sound
Yeah.
bar, something more behind your TV
Mhm.
lights up with the
yeah.
colors of the scenes.
And see,
so
also
cool.
8 years ago, be on the lookout tomorrow for our wedding photos.
Oh shoot!
Should be in tomorrow. Also, 8 years ago, I was doing a lot 8 years ago. I tried to be a hip hop artist. From 315 to 615. Oh my god, this was hilarious. 4 years ago, I posted a video of Trey Kennedy, who is hilarious if you haven't watched any of his videos. Girls during fall be like,
Let's go, lady.
Yeah, I know who that is.
It's officially below 70, so you know what I'm wearing every day? Leggings and a
It's officially below 70, so you know what I'm wearing every day? Leggings and a huge shirt. Leggings and a huge.
I remember that. I saw that. Yeah.
Speaking of who, where is he? Yeah, this isn't my favorite cardigan, but it's like my backup. It's my Cardi B. Here's an actual depiction of what I do after a couple glasses of wine. Brandon! Haven't talked to you in a while. Stones and hormones.
I am a basic bitch for fall. I got my spooky stuff. I got my pumpkin spice. My coffee was my pumpkin spice almond milk. I love it all. I don't have any Uggs, but that's because I have big feet.
I didn't have a whole lot today on Facebook memories.
Yeah, I don't have a bunch on there either. I feel like I need to start screenshotting it on other
I
days.
usually try to. I had some yesterday
some
that I meant to look at, and I just never did.
I've had some song lyrics pop up and stuff where I'm like, oh, good lord.
Yeah. All right. Well, that basically wraps it up for us then. Guys, thank you for joining us on this
I'm going to go put on fuzzy socks. My feet are freezing.
spooky adventure. Be sure to like this episode and comment some of your favorite horror movies, scary films, your first, the last one you watched, or Halloween movies, or any haunted house experiences that you have to share with us.
And anybody going out
or
for Halloween this weekend, be safe and check your kids' candy, Nichole.
Or any paranormal experiences you ever had.
Yeah. But be sure to follow us at Updownstate PDcast on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all the things. Click likes, comments, do the things, do the stuff, do the things. It's free. It's free. You can do it. But other than that, we'll talk to you guys next time. Peace out.
Bye.